Hello again, and today's job is an attic hatch. So they've been asked to make an attic hatch, and they said, can you do it in white so it doesn't need painting? So I found some leftover shower board, and I've glued it to some 3/4 inch ply. They want it to be lockable, so at the moment this will just slot in and out like a normal attic hatch. What I've had to do, I'll turn it over. So I've used a rim lock. I've cut the latch off it with an angle grinder. I've just had to notch a bit out here to get the recess in, so it's flush with the front. Just screwed it to the ply, drilled the holes through so you got the key will come through. Obviously it won't come out this side. I'll notch into the frame that this sits in. So I'll just drill a couple of holes so that can locate into it. And then these will get screwed with a gap to the frame the other side. So the idea being it won't open, and then you unlock it and this end will go up and you can push it all into the attic. So I think it's time to go and fit it. Right, I've popped it in place. I haven't drilled anything out yet, so I'll screw those blocks into this side, then I'll drill out for the latch. Right, I've drilled some holes there for the key to get the latch going, and I've put these 2 blocks here. So I'll slide the panel in and lock it. Right, that's it locked, so it can't go anywhere that way. This end can't go up. I've left a big gap to make it easier to go in, but that you won't get that open. Well, you would if you really want to, but you might as well cut a hole in the ceiling if you want to, if you're that desperate to get in. So I think I'll call that job jobbed. It doesn't really blend in with the ceiling paint, but to get a ceiling painter out here, it's going to be another half a day. Primer, undercoat, and then paint it. So yeah, I think we'll call that finished, that job. That's one of those days today where the next job, I've just had to replace this secondary glazing. People take it out and get it all mixed up, and don't know how it goes back in again. So yeah, it's just basically find out which one's which and which one naturally is which, and yeah. So I'll leave it open because it's a hot day. Same on that window. This is a bed set that's rented out. So they've got shared bathroom, and that's the room. Right, we're back at the Victorian house. We're just about done now. Carpets have gone down, painters are finished. We've got stained glass bit of window to go in. So I'm just finishing off the bits in the kitchen. So the hob's arrived. So what I've done is I've measured up from the instructions, cut it out, and I've put primer and undercoat on the edges just to seal it all. I've also got a piece of stainless steel. That's just a protective cover on it. So I've just glued that to the wall. That's stainless steel splashback. So that'll protect the wall, and I'll just put a bead of silicone around the top. And down the sides, just to cover, I like to have a little gap for expansion in that and make sure it gets in. So I'm going to leave that out for the electrician. They've got a little bit of cable with it. So my next job is to fit the oven, and that'll get that out of the way. So I've got a shelf, I've got some brackets, and I'll have to put a little piece under the bottom because there's going to be a gap there. So I'll unbox that, stick it in, find out how much we have to build it up, and then yeah, then I can get the plinths on underneath. Put this oversized blind on, which is a bit of a pain because this sticks in further than the reveal. So the blind has got to stop just before the edge of this, which is not a problem, it's just going to look a bit weird at the top. But I expect that than only shutting 3/4 away, or 2/3. Right, that's the bath panel, that's got to go on. And yeah, not far off done now. Yeah, one problem we have had is it's now Friday. I've got a big list of things to do. And the carpet was supposed to be down Wednesday, so I was supposed to be here Thursday and Friday, but they didn't finish till this morning. So it was like 24-hour makeover with the painters, carpet fitters. But it's Friday, it's 11:30, 12:30. and everyone's gone. So I've got loads, I've got so much to do. And I've got some perspex. Looks quite nice now, it's all almost finished off. I've got to fit that blind there. I've got to fit a blind there. I want to put all the bulbs in, that's not a problem. We've got this, the painters have fitted, well, the builders have fitted this. It's disgusting, I don't know. Why would they do that? It just makes everything look bad now, which is very annoying. So I've got the bath panels going on, and I've got to put a piece of perspex in here, otherwise all the water will sit on the windowsill, and I need something for that to tie into. So I'll bond the perspex in, put that in, and I need to have a shower riser up here, because that is pathetic, that thing. That's what comes with a kit, but I'll put a riser on. I need to seal the sinks in. They've not been sealed yet. I thought the painters would have sealed across the top of that. It's a bit of a shame they haven't done that. Yeah, silicone man's coming just to seal all around the vinyl and all the edges. So that will be downstairs done. And then I don't think I've got anything to do upstairs. So, oh, I've got, under these windows you can see daylight. 2 bits of daylight coming through, that's on the drains there, there and there. So I need to put like a brush strip across the bottom, stop any draft coming through. I've already put the vertical one in to seal the 2 units when they're shut. I don't like walking on the carpet with my shoes on, but I know my shoes are clean and I'm in and out of here all the time, so I can't be taking them on, putting them on, taking them off. Right, let's get on with it. Oh, another thing I need to do is, above the fridge is the attic hatch, which the painters have painted. There's one there, and oh, there was one there, but that's not the one for there. Oh, there's one. So the one at the back, that needs to be put in place. And I've put this fridge out the way because it's a massive box into the room, but I need to get the polystyrene off the bottom. Right, let's get this unwrapped. Right, I'll start putting the plinths in. I've made that for under the cooker. There's just a bit of plinth cut down, and I've put the trim all around the sides. I've taken the plastic off the top of the worktop. That's all there. That was a bit of a nightmare getting that off because it's been on a while. Taking the cover off the splashback. I've got to put the top of the extractor on. I've got to cut down the next plinth just to fill that bit, and then cut a piece for that, and that's the plinth done. So that is 122 millimeters, and that is 105. That's how far the floor is out. You can feel it sloping down that way. So right, let me get this one in and cut that one, and yeah, we're not far off, and I can start on the blinds or get the bathroom done. I've got the plastic. Now, I've put the oven in. I've screwed a shelf at the bottom for the oven to sit on. I've left a gap underneath the plinth for the air to circulate behind it. I've left his connector that it's wiring up to. So he's got a plug here, and this is for the hob. I'm leaving the hob out because it's got spring clips. Once you push it in, it's a nightmare getting it back out again. So I'm going to let the electrician know that that's ready, but I don't want to let him know just yet because I'll wait until I finish the plinth, because he might be nearby and he might come and do a 24-hour makeover, which it was this morning with all the carpet fitters. So yes, that's all starting to take shape. Well, I've just been like drilling the hole so you can get a plug. That's going to be a tumble dryer, washing machine, all the other way around. So there'll be pipes and plugs to go through to join up behind the sink. So unfortunately, where the back panel goes in the sink unit, everything's a bit further forward than would be desirable. So what I'm going to do is just spring the panel in, so it will have a curve on it, but it'll be easy for the plumbers to pop out when they need to get access to everything. So I won't do it all the way up, I'll just do it to below the horizontal pipe, I think. I've just cut the shower, the bath panel bits all over the place, the floor's so out of level, so it's a bit compressed here, this side, a bit slack that side, so I need to put timbers in, but it's 6 o'clock Friday evening, and I've got to meet the girlfriend at 7. I've got to have a shower yet and all that. So I've got the plastic in the car, Tina's coming tomorrow, I've done all the dirty work. I've just fitted a blind there. Kitchen's all done. Electrician's coming Monday to put the hob in. So, I've just got the extractor. I'll do that quickly now. Right, that's the extractor hood on. Now, time to get out of here. This is what used to be the bedroom. It's now the shower room. So, flooring's down. It's all painted. Looking much nicer. That's the sound of the fan, the extractor fan going. So we've got the waste pipe, the secondary return, and the hot and cold feed. I made an attic hatch just with a couple of cut down screws at the bottom, so it slots in and it's got a lock on the top. Just because otherwise, if you put access there, there's going to be loads of stuff going on. Everything looks much better with a coat of paint and the carpet down. Right, that's upstairs done. I've just put secondary glazing in the hallway and the steel bars on to prevent anyone falling through, because that is a long way down from up here. So yeah. I've just fitted a shower riser because it's just like a hold you get. It's ridiculous. The one you get with the kit is just to hold the shower head. Now, and I've also put a piece of perspex in. It's a bit hard to see. You can see the top of it there. So I've just sealed that in, and tomorrow when it's set, I'll be able to drill a hole and put a screw into it to brace the side of the shower door, because it's got a brace in just to hold it, keep it in the same place. And I'll also seal around the back of the perspex screen, because I haven't got anything securing that at the moment. I've got the bath panel to fit, and then it's just the curtain rails. There's 6 of them to do, which hopefully will arrive soon because people move in day after tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day to get any work done. So I don't know if you remember what it looked like before, but it's massive improvement. Well, that's the bathroom finally finished. I'll do the finishing touches like the loo roll holder. So brick walls, so I managed to use my little screwdriver with the masonry bit in. Got some red plugs in there, that's not going anywhere. The silicone man's bean is sealed all around the floor and the bath panel. I've just put a bit more sealant around the bath panel just to hold it in place. I had to put that's a piece of perspex there, and I've had to drill a hole in it and put the brace onto the shower door just to hold it in place. I've just put a bolt with a nut on the back to hold it there. Shower rails in, sink's been sealed. That room's finished. In the hallway, this is always the end at the end of the job. I had to put the coat hooks onto the timber that was there. They were originally on it, but the painters took them off. Blind. I've fitted hanging rails for the curtains, and now this is draft excluded to go around the door. I put it on for a client. The client hates it, so they want it back off again, so I've got some left over. So I've got to put that on the bottom, because otherwise you can see daylight through the drain holes and you just get a big draft through there. So I'm going to screw it on, because if I try nailing onto those doors, who knows what's going to happen there. You can see they're already cracking. Yeah, they've seen better days. So I've got those 3 to do, and that's me finished. Everything looks really nice. That's the Venetian blind I put up there. I cut down blinds, put that there. We've had the oven on to get all the smells out of it. The mastic man's been sealed all around the bottom units. You can now see how much the floor is sloping. I think there's like 15 mil between one end and the other of that. I've just done basic little things, a bit of silicone around the windowsill because there wasn't anything on it. Yeah, it's all done. We took the polystyrene off the bottom of the fridge. The electrician was here, he helped me out. Attic hatches in. So looking good, apart from these. I hate these, but that wasn't me. I don't know why they got those on. I spent a lot of time putting the edgings on, but they wanted the aluminium trims, so they tend to hold the bacteria in. Done the same upstairs, hanging rails, curtain poles, loo roll holder, that sort of thing, finishing touches. So this is the last thing I've got to do. The people move in tomorrow, and then that's us finished in here. Hello again. We've got a project ongoing. So what have we had? New roof. The house has just had a new roof fitted. Hard to see. It's the road. That's all done. I think the outside's going to get painted, so the scaffold can stay up for that. The house has been empty for some time now. I think it's had an asbestos survey. So they've given me a list of things they want doing. Like, this was a downstairs loo. It's all a bit of a Harry Potter room. So that's all coming out and going. The hallway, redecorated in the hallway. It's got 2 reception rooms. It's been thermal boarded, not very well, but that'll help insulate it. Fireplace got to come out. The doors they're all knackered. I think it needs new doors, new interior doors. Well, price for it anyway. Yeah, I think there's been a bit of. If we can fix that back on, get that back on, it's not a problem. The lounge has got. Same thing, door. Not too bad, that door, but they could do with replacement. They're just old. The exterior wall's been thermal boarded, but what they've done is just put a bead over the bottom, which looks a bit awful. What I'll do is I'll build the bottom of the skirting out and put skirting, more lamb's tongue skirting, so it looks like it's been fitted after the wall's been fitted. Because it's not been lived in, it's had a winter and the damp's got to it. This palmet has all got to come out because there's no need for it. It's just a bit of plywood. It's got lights behind it. I'm not getting involved with the garden. And that's the gardener's job. I think we'll take that down, patch up the holes in the ceiling. I presume that's for the electrician doing his bit. Take this corner out. It was a chimney breast before, just running down. They've just built onto it and then wallpapered over it, so we'll take all that out. All the cabling, I don't know, the electrician's coming, he might have a go at that, but it's all external, it's quite a bit. The kitchen, it just doesn't work. We've got the doorway here. This is an alcove, so we're a bit stuck with that. Looks like that went in further before. So what we need to do is get everything out, get rid of these cupboards, get back to a basic room and pull the shelving out. It's got a larder, it's that sort of era. Yeah, the electrician's going to have to put a new fuse board in. That's not going to pass regulations. There's a gas pipe there, and it looks like another one there, which is odd. So we're not on gas anymore, so that can go. It's having a new sort of heating system, so I'm not getting involved with that. It's more the plumber. So this was the old utility room. So I presume the new boiler will go in here. That can go, that's oil fired. And there's the oil tank outside, so I presume that's going to go as well. Yeah, I think that's it for downstairs. So new kitchen. Oh yeah, what I was thinking is keep this as a lounge, or make this. We've got two reception rooms. That's what they used to do back in the day. You could make this the lounge, get the fireplace out, have it as a lounge room. Make this a kitchen diner. So you get a lovely sized kitchen here, big dining table, plenty of room. This will probably be the hub of the house. You could spend more time in here. And then make this, you could have an office or a huge utility room or a downstairs loo. So you could keep a downstairs loo. You could just have an area for the downstairs loo and a small office or a storage room or something. Or you could even, that boiler's going, so you could have a loo in here. Put the loo, we've got a soil pipe, we've got plenty of water pipe running for it. So that way you keep the downstairs loo, because at the moment, if you need the toilet, you have to go upstairs. Now that that's been removed. Anyway, that's down to nothing to do with me. That's just an idea. Right, upstairs. They've put tri-so insulation on the roof, which is very good insulation. Very big attic up there. Trouble with that insulation is you can't have aerials up there, and it affects your phone reception. Right, this is a tiny room. It's very small, and it's had the effects of not being lived in. So the decorators will have to get rid. Oh, it's been thermal boarded, right? It's been thermal boarded, and the skirting's been put on top of the thermal board, which is good. So decoration in here, and that can be. You could fit a cot in here, no problem. If you put a bed in there, you struggle a bit. But I'll thermal board the ceiling, and then I can. I presume this has had an asbestos survey. I have to find out before I start doing any work. That's got to go. It's horrible, that is. It's like an old hospital heating system. So we'll pull all that off, patch it up, make good, put a vent in it so it breathes. This is diabolical. Just think that's all falling, leaning forward. Looks like it was meant to be like that, with the curve on the top. It just looks like the back end of a boat. I do like this mirror, because if I stand that way, it makes me look really slim. Huh? Clever, yeah. Right, rip all this out, thermal board ceiling. The external walls have been thermal boarded already, which is good. The skirting's gone on top of them, just needs a bit of patching up and sorting out. So she's on about fitted wardrobes in here, which is, you know, that could be sorted out once all this has been ripped out and we know what's what. This is the main bedroom, which is very similar. So all that needs ripping out. Fireplace again to go. It's thermal board on the ceiling is just going to make it good and keep the heat in as well. This area, well, that's been thermal board as well. That's good. It looks like they've boarded behind the cupboards. Won't know until we pull it all off. Sink's got to go. No need to have a sink in your bedroom. It was popular in the 70s, I think. So get rid of that. They want to keep this loo up here. Solid wall. Shame about the exposed pipes everywhere. Not ideal. I don't know what hot water cylinder they're having and where it'll go, but this could probably come out. seeing as it's got nothing in it, it's got a pressurised system downstairs. What they want is a loo fitting in this bathroom. So, a soil pipe, we'll have to have a look outside and see where the soil pipe is, because we might have to move this around a bit. In the other, there's a house next door, which I did lots of work to. They're owned by the same people. We had the bath running this way, and we had a loo here, and then we had the sink here, from what I remember. So yeah, all this will have to come out, tiles off the wall. This, I don't know what is going on here. There's a big gap. They've built, I know what they've done, they've built it out to cover the bath, where the width of the bath, but there was no need. You could have tiled up to here. It's just cutting light out, and it's just awkward that if you have to change you'd never change that window if it broke. So thermal board the ceiling, get rid of all that. Well, that could be asbestos in the Artex. They did put asbestos with Artex for a time. That looks like it's probably a nice door under there, panel door, and they've just put plywood either side. So we could expose those. Is that the same? No, that's just a plain door. So yeah, basically, there's quite a bit to do here. And complete redecoration, thermal board anything that's not been thermal boarded. Oh dear, that's just render that's blown. It might be an idea, if I want it done properly to last, is thermal board that wall. It'll help keep the heat in, and also that renders a mess behind it. Right, so got my work cut out. What I'm here doing at the moment is a price evaluation, and I know they want to get going. Doesn't mean I've got the job because I'm pricing it, but yeah, so I'll make a few suggestions of what I think would be an idea to do, like change all the doors, because that would just brighten up and liven up a bit. Move the door handles down. I don't know why they used to do them up that high. I think it was to stop the children getting into or out of rooms, how people used to live. Right, so I've got my diary, and I'm going to measure everything up and then work out costs for everything. Right, it'd be nice to do some repair work to a property I previously worked on. It's getting damp. It's a cold wall. It's cavity, but the wall's so cold, there's no heating in here. So it's getting a bit damp. So they've asked me to put thermal board on it, which I'm just going to pull the skirting off. I'm going to cut this flush, fit the thermal board onto the wall, extend the sill. I'll just put normal plasterboard down the reveals. There's not enough room to put thermal board in there. And then, I might be able to actually. Yeah, probably will. And then, I'll see if I can put that skirting back on again, or we'll get a new piece. This room's fine because it's been tiled. And we've got to do this wall. This doesn't seem to be affected, this wall. Oh yeah, it's down there. Yes, we'll do that wall as well. Right, so let's get the skirting and sill off. Right, that's the first piece roughly in place. I've just got to do a scribe up the wall because it's not square. I'll measure that gap and do the same gap up the side. Move it over there, I can glue that one. There's a bit of a dip in the ceiling, so I'll just do a quick scribe there. I did have a bit of an incident. I literally just touched the light with the edge of the plasterboard and fell on my head. Can't really see it here. But I don't know, it's at the back of the head, so I can't really see it. But got to get on, can't leave the place like this. There's a horrific odour in here. Seems to be getting worse, which is odd. Right, let's get some scribing done. Right, I put the first piece in, it came up to here, so I just cut this window opening out. I've just stuck a bit of plaster on the side. So now I've put the second piece in, I just had to notch it down the skirting at the bottom. I've still got that skirt to go back on again. So now I've marked it, I'm just going to cut this opening out. Head's not getting much better. In fact, when I lean down, it comes down the front now. So I've got to leave it. I can't clean it up because it's just going to carry on bleeding. I've got to let it to sort itself out. Trouble is, I've got to go and get some bits from town, and I'll have to clean it up before I go in there. Right, let's get this bit cut out. Right, that's it done. I'll put the curtains back in the same holes they came out of. So I marked them when I was putting the plasterboard up. I'll just put a chamfer on the edge of the windowsill. Just giving the floor a quick mop because it was a bit dry. Those props are just supporting the plasterboard on the top until that goes off. So I'll let the painter know it's ready for him now. I think I can take this out. Oh yeah, no, replace the light fitting. Yeah, the clients complained about the shower leaking. So I've just taken the bottom trim off and started unscrewing the door off. But the silicone in here is pretty awful. So I'm guessing the tray's moving as you're standing there. So as soon as you put your weight on it, it moves and now the water's going. So the idea is I'll take the door off, take the tiles off, take the tray out. I've got a new tray which I'm going to raise up from the floor and put shower board on the side, so I'll just take this off. So I'm not mainly pulling it all apart because I'll have to do some work with the waste. I think that's a new waste because the waste collapsed. The pipe came off the waste before under the floor. That's why I like to keep them up so you can get access without. I've had to cut this board out so the plumber can get access. Yeah, let's get this door off. Right, the door's just about out. I've got the frame out. That was well siliconed in. But the behind the corner, obviously water's been getting in through the silicone. And yeah, it's just totally rotten there. So that's one of the places where it'll be getting through. I've got the other side off now. I've just exposed some of the tiles and got the silicone off, and yeah, it's just shot away. So there's a massive gap between the bottom of the tiles and the shower tray. I don't know if that's because the shower tray's dropped. More than likely, because I wouldn't have thought they would have stopped the tiles 10 mil up from the shower tray. It looks like it's dropped, so they've just kept putting silicone in it. Obviously, it hasn't done it. So yeah, I'm gonna have to take all the plywood off. It's bad to tile on plywood now anyway. I managed to get the front of the shower off. That's got a one-way wash on it, so I'm going to sort of work around that. But this is also rusty in there. So if we build everything around that and that breaks, it's going to be a bit of a problem. So I've asked them if they want me to put an external shower with just the pipes coming out the wall, put the mixture on the outside, make it a lot easier to change when it goes wrong, and it will go wrong. So yeah, let's just keep plodding away and getting this tray out. You can see there's a lot of water's been making its way around. This water stains absolutely everywhere. This plaster was just coming off the wall, and that was behind the plywood. Managed to get the plywood and the tiles off in one go. Hopefully the back will be as easy. This is pretty solid, so that's on plywood as well, so that's going to come off. I'll have to replace this bit. So I'm going to lift the plywood up. You can see a bow in it. I'll lift the plywood up and we'll have a look and see what's under there. There was a problem before where the waste had dropped out the bottom of the outlet. So I see the plumber's put a brace in there, which is good thinking. I don't know if you'll see on the camera, but there is a massive bow on the floor there, and it's so important that this is on a level base, so there's no movement. If you'd stood on this side, it would have rocked the base and broken all the seals around the tiles. So it was on a loss to start with from when it was originally fitted. Right, let's get the ply up. Yeah, it's pretty bad under here, under the ply. it had bits of hardboard supporting the tray, but it adds like more here, and it just wasn't working. The spiders love the damp. That's totally rotten away, that's just falling apart, the tray. It stinks now because of the trap. So what I've got to do is put 4x2s across, making sure that they're carried by the joists, and get them totally level. Then put a new piece of ply. Obviously I've got to get this plywood off first, open it up, so let's get everything out. Right, I think that's it for day one. I need to get a decent sized crowbar to try and get this ply off with the tiles on it, because they're not coming off the plywood. They are, it took me so long to get those off. I've managed to get the grab washer off that. I can't see that being used again. I think it should be all surface. So tomorrow, what I do is when I go down, I'll take this down with me. I'll just take bits down every time I go down. So rather than having loads of stuff left up here, but we've got a bit of weight in that, and the back one, and that side one as well. Right, that's cool. Oh yeah, 22nd of October 03. I presume that's when it was manufactured, so, you know, 22 years ago. And it's been in, so it's not done too bad, but I don't know how long it's been leaking for. I came in here a couple of years ago when the pipe was disconnected. I've had to take this piece of flooring up, cut a hole for the plumber to get access in, because the plumber came and had a look and he said, no, that damp waste is fine. And it was pouring out down there, going through the ceiling downstairs. So I had to expose it all, cut a hole, take a picture. In fact, I think we did a bit of plasterboard down below, made an access panel so you could get access through it. Anyway, that's all going to get changed now. Right, I've got this side out. I have the old crowbars on it. This has been getting wet. The plywood has just gone. It's just falling apart. So that's had water on it for a long time. So it looks like it starts about there, went its way down. It's just, yeah, needs doing. I've got that timber's gone as well, which is a pain, because that means I'll have to start cutting out that side. Right, they've not got back to me whether they want an external shower mixer yet. I mean, that might last, but it might not. We might put it all back together again, and it needs replacing, and it means taking everything off again. Right, let's get this back piece off. Right, this is the back of the ply that was on that wall. Yeah, water up to here. Oh yeah, it's got cracks in the grout which should let water in. It's totally rotten at the bottom. There's just no, yeah, you can it's just falling apart. So that's why past is best. I think because it's so wet in there, it needs to be dried out. I think if I leave the door open, get the air circulating, I think we might have to leave it a couple of days just to get the moisture out of it before we don't enclose the moisture with the new shower board that we're putting on. Right, it's pretty rotten here. Yeah, my finger's gone through it there. And this corner here is really bad, including the stud. I think we might need to get some access under here, because that plate's gonna have to come out, the bottom plate. In fact, the whole stud's gonna have to come out. This floor needs to come out. It needs to get air to everything. This back wall, it's wet, but it's still got some strength to it. It's having shower board on lath and plaster. That's been plastered. Alright. Okay, we can hopefully leave the back wall. I think we need to cut this section out here, get the air to it. Right, so I've pulled all the flooring up that was down there just to expose the joists, and yeah, they're soaking wet. We're gonna have to double this one up because it is rotten, and that is supporting quite a bit of weight, that one. We're gonna have to cut out the rot from here. Hopefully we don't have to get involved with the flooring here. Yeah, I'm going to leave it for a couple of days to dry out. Then I'm going to put some preservative on it, so if there's anything in there, rot-wise, it will kill it. And then we can, yeah, they want the external shower now. So what I think I'll do is find out how to turn the water off, move the pipes into this side, and then have the external shower controller here, and the shower rail pointing away from the door, because the door's the most susceptible place to leak. So if we've got it here, it's pointing against the walls, which will have a lot more chance of sealing than the door will. So yeah, leave this for a couple of days. I'll get someone to come around and clear all the rubbish. I'll get a couple of guys because they can take those in the one. I'm not going to be going up and down 4 flights of stairs. Right, what I've done is I've sealed the tray to the plywood on a bed of silicone. I put silicone down the sides as well, just hold it all in place. It's not going anywhere where it's set, but I've been sort of working on it to get the plywood in. So that is 6mm ply, because I didn't want it sticking out too much and covering the tray too much. I'm going to get the shower board tomorrow. These are all glued on, so I can't do anything with them. I've just put a couple of screws holding the corner trims up. I've got some edge trim, but one's a bit damaged, so I'll probably do this one and leave this one until they get some more in stock. That's all they have left. All the wastes siliconed in and glued up and finished off. It hasn't got any water in the trap yet, and it stinks. I'm still waiting for the rubbish guys to come and take all the rubbish down. Yeah, so what day is it today? Wednesday today. Hopefully it'll be finished. Once I've got these sides on, I can pop that shower back on. I was going to replace it, but I think we can get away with leaving it. Yeah, that might go for years. And if it does break, they can always change the cartridge, which is easy enough to get out if you can still get them. So otherwise, by the time we get a plumber up and do all that, it's going to be another week before it's up and running. Because you'd have to disconnect, turn the power up, the feed off, put the pipes in, and then I'll have to board it and everything, and then they'll have to come back and put the unit on. So we'll just we'll go with it wasn't broken, so we'll leave it there. Right, I think that's it for today. Oh yeah, so what I did do was I used the sprayer and got underneath it and sprayed everything. That's why the floor's a bit wet underneath. I've just put preservative all over it, and it's woodworm killer and stop anything from getting messy or whatever's in there. The place is this old. Any opportunity you get, you should spray it, because yeah, woodworm is the thing here. That's the panelling cut and glued, bonded to the walls. I'll just put a bead of silicone around the top before I go down the sides and around the bottom. I'm going to wait for it all to totally dry out. So these are stuck to the walls, they're quite firm. So hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to get the door in, get the fronts on these, and yeah, hopefully it'll be ready to use the next day. Right, I've sealed between the panels and the tray now. I've refitted the controller, the outlet and the shower rail. I've sealed all around the corners. I went to get the door, but there was a problem getting it, so they said come back in a couple of hours, so I'll go and get that. I'm just making a panel at the bottom. I've run the shower and checked that the waste isn't leaking. And I've just measured up for a piece of carpet board to go over that to cover it up. Once that's in, I can put the skirting back in and I can sort out the architrave. Right, I'm going to go and make the bit and then see if I can get the shower door. Right, I've got the door on now. I've not fitted one like that before, but it all seems to work okay, and it's all in. All I've got to do now is take the cover off this, and I'm going to leave and use it for a couple of days, come back, check there's no leaks or anything. Then I can, I've got to put a piece down here, and I'll put a plastic architrave around the door, because it's not ideal having an attic hatch inside the shower. Yeah, this is a job I came to some time ago where the ceiling had got a hole in it, and lots of vermiculite came out, making quite a bit of dust, so I just put some MDF over it just to seal it for the time being. But we thought it would be, the ceiling's knackered, it's so dry and it's quite crispy, so we thought we'd put a suspended ceiling in, and we might as well put a thermal board on it as well while we're doing it, so I'm just putting the framework up. Just got 1, 2, 3 more of the joists to cut, and then I'll put a row of noggings down the middle. I'll leave the middle one out where the light is, because the electrician's coming in the morning and he's going to want to a fixing for his light, so I'll cut one and he can put it in where he needs it to be, with a hole in the cable coming through, so I'll know where the cable is for when we board it. I think the pull switch, he'll be able to get into that joist. So yeah, just 3 more to cut, and then put the row of noggins down the middle. Well, that's all the noggins in, apart from the light, so I'll lift that one out. I've actually cut it and put it on the windowsill, so the electrician can put it where he wants it, put a hole in the middle, so I'll know where to put the cables. And I presume he can drill a hole at an angle through this joist, so his light switch can go onto that. That's about as far as I can go. He's coming first thing in the morning, get the cables down. I'll come afterwards, put the boards up, and he'll pop back later on in the day and wire up the lights and the switch, so at least I won't be without lights. And then it's whenever the decorator can come and fill and paint it. Right, I've just been asked to change the lock on the flat, and there was no key, so I just drilled the lock again. It took 3 minutes, I think, to do. Yeah, they're not very secure, these. You can get anti-drill ones, which I think is what I'll be fitting from now on, because I mean, the crime rate's very low here, but if you were somewhere where the crime rate was high, it'd take 2 minutes to get that open. Right, that's the electrician turned up, so right, let's go and sort him out. That's new lock fitted, so all working well now. Back secure and with new keys. Right, I've put the noggin in and I've put it flat, so when the light goes back up, it can, it's got something to screw it to. I've put the first sheet of thermal board in. I'm back to the second one, which will come to here, and it's just a small piece at the end. Yeah, the electrician came, disconnected the switch and the light, he's on call, so as soon as I give him a ring, he'll come back and put them back on again. So let's get on with the second sheet. Right, that piece was particularly nasty because that wall isn't square. This one is, but there's only a bit of the plaster onto it. So yeah, it was quite a cut, that was. And then getting up on my own on a step ladder wasn't easy. But that's the ceiling done now, so it's pulled the cables through, the electrician's on his way back. He's going to put the pull switch and the light back on. I've sent the video to the painter, so he knows about filling it, and they might as well do the whole lock, so there's a bit of damage in the room. Yeah, so that's me finished and done here. Yeah, sorry about the noise, there's a bit of work going on in the garden. I've got a client whose husband was fitting this utility, these units, but unfortunately died as he was doing it. So I've been asked to come and finish off. I had to put this up, and that was a bit of a nightmare because these aren't as wide as these units, so they stop about here. So we had to do lots of fixing to keep it secure. I had to put the top bit on and put that door on, and all that's left is this door, but we haven't got it. We've got end panels, decorated end panels, so we've got 3 of them, and yeah, so I spoke to the people who supplied the lot, and they said they're going to order one and they'll give me a shout when it comes down. So she wants a skirting architrave doing as well, so I'll wait until the door's down and I'll put the skirting architrave on at the same time.